It starts with one thing, I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, a design is fine to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away, so unreal. Didn't look out below.
Hello everyone and welcome back to This Week in Comics, aka Thwick. So, today we're going to be talking about a lot of Comicsgate stuff that happened over the weekend. And one of those things is what you saw in the intro, which was everyone saying that comics are for everyone, which I couldn't agree more. And it shouldn't be based on like your skin color, your ethnicity, or political beliefs or anything on whether you should be able to read or make comics. And I think everyone should be allowed to. That's just great. The problem is, where are all these people saying the opposite? Because all these comic pros came out and said that, acting like there's some huge opposition to them, saying that there's all these people that are going around being like, comics are only for straight white males, and if you're not a straight white male, get out of my comics, I don't want to see you. But no one's saying that, so I'm confused who they're fighting. They're just fighting the boogeyman at this point. They're fighting something that's not there, but they're telling you it's there. Like, they're very into it, like going like, comics are for everyone, how dare you say otherwise? But it's like, no one's saying otherwise. I don't know who you're fighting. Like, hey Larry, who are comics for?
White people.
Well, shit. But jokes aside, in all seriousness, yes, comics are for everyone. Everyone knows this. No one disagrees with this. I mean, there's probably like a very small minority, like 0.01% of someone who's like, I only want white people. But that's like basically no one really thinks that. So I don't get why they're acting like there's some big movement, because Comicsgate obviously is not that. Say what you will about Comicsgate, but it's not some racism based movement or something about bigotry. That's not what it is at all. There were even tons of people tweeting out the same thing. They kind of turned it against them. It was funny because they took the copy paste that a lot of creators used and then just added, we are Comicsgate, like this is what we believe at the end. So that kind of was a conundrum for the creators that said all that stuff, because like, wait, they agree with us? Well, kind of just screwed them over. And the funny thing was, basically no one said anything about political discrimination. Everyone's fine with that. That's what I think's funny about this whole situation. Everyone's like, no sexism, no bigotry, no racism, no misogyny, none of this, no homophobia, no transphobia. But pretty much no one added, yeah, but also don't discriminate over politics, because they are great at that. That's what Marvel and DC love doing, discriminating over politics. Oh, you're to the right at all in any way, shape, or form? Yeah, no, you're not going to write here. Like, you're blacklisted, you're done, goodbye. And it's like, no one said anything about that, because they're all okay with it. Everyone's fine. Except one person did, and I was so happy about that, and that was Matthew Rosenberg, who is the current writer on Punisher. I did a stream a week ago, and I talked about Punisher #1. I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to be adding it to my pull list, and this made me like the guy even more. What he said was, sad as hell that I have to say this, but here we are. I think comic books should be for everyone. I think people of all races, genders, sexual identities, religions, and political leanings should make comics or be able to see themselves on the shelves. I already know some folks are going to try and point out problems with this statement, but before you do, I hope you take a moment to think about the statement. I want comics to succeed and have a future, and that comes from having it be a wide, diverse, inclusive medium. Nobody thinks there should be only one type of movie, restaurant, TV, or book, do they? Why should comics be different? We should want a comic shop to offer something for everyone. Which, I agree, I'm totally fine with that, and the thing I loved is the fact that he wrote in political leanings, because no one else said that. Everyone else is fine that, oh, if you're a MAGA guy, you can go screw off. Oh, if you're just a conservative, you can go screw off. We don't want you here. We're fine with this, with discriminating over that. We want diversity unless it's diversity of thought. If you think differently than us, then we don't want you here. Goodbye. But Matthew Rosenberg actually wrote that in, and I thought that was really cool. And I saw that a little bit after I made my own tweet on the whole situation, and I wrote that into mine as well, because I didn't see anyone say it until I saw Matthew Rosenberg's tweet, because everyone was just fine with political discrimination apparently. But yeah, I did a copy paste like everyone else was doing, except I added a few things. I said, comics are for everyone. There's no place for harassment, racism, misogyny, bigotry, homophobia, transphobia, sexism, or discrimination over political beliefs. Everyone should be welcome to make great comics, unless you send people unwanted pics of your anus. If you do, get out. yeah, some people may not know what that last part meant. I had a couple people responding to my tweet being like, what are you talking about exactly? So that's another story we're covering today, and that is that Robbie Rodriguez, who's a guy I'd never heard of till now, sent pictures of his butthole to Ethan Van Sciver, thus starting Butthole Gate. But yeah, I'm so confused by what happened. If you don't know who Robbie Rodriguez is, don't worry. You're the majority of people there. No one knows who he is. But apparently he's on that Zoe Quinn Vertigo book, and he did a lot of Spider-Gwen stuff. I couldn't really find much about him, even from Google searching. But he's some comic creator. His Twitter has like a ton of comic pros following him and stuff. And yeah, he sent a picture of his butthole to Ethan Van Sciver saying, I'm a big fan. And then deleted like all of his tweets after that. And I'm so confused. Like, what is going through your head to make you think, this is a good idea? This is how I own him. This is how I get him. This is gonna, oh man, Ethan Van Sciver's gonna regret ever saying what he said. This is, oh man, this is gonna get him how, ooh, all those Comicsgate idiots, I'm gonna show him my butthole. That's gonna, yes, I'm finally gonna win here. Like, what are you doing? So I really am confused by the thought process here, because I know he probably thinks Ethan Van Sciver's a Nazi, you know, like all the bunch of people lied about him and all these things, and like, oh, Ethan Van Sciver's Nazi and all that stuff. But my thing is, like, say for a minute that he is. Say that Ethan Van Sciver is Hitler himself. Why is your like first action a butthole pic? Even if it's Hitler, like why would you send that man a picture of your ass? Like, what? How's that gonna defeat the Nazis? I just don't know. Like, what is going on? It's just confused me so much, because it makes absolutely no sense. It's batshit crazy to send a picture of your ass to someone. Like, what? What is the I really want to know what the thought process behind that was. Like, man, and the funniest thing is no one's talking about it. No one in mainstream or like on the left at all is talking about it whatsoever. I searched it up and hit the news tab on Google, and to see if any like CBR anyone had covered it. There was one site that's sort of like The Onion that had covered it, because they did like a whole like mocking thing of it, and that was it. There was one site, and it was a site I never heard of, that covered it. No one else, Comic Book Movie, Comic Book Resources, all these other comic book news sites, no one covered it. But I guarantee you, if someone from Comicsgate sent a pro a picture of their asshole, then guaranteed people would be upset about that. If Ethan Van Sciver or John Malin or DNC did that, guaranteed everyone would be talking about how bad it is. Everyone would be all over them talking about how, oh, this is all Comicsgate is. Look how bad Comicsgate is. But then this guy does it, and everyone's silent, or people will be like, oh, there's a bad egg in here. You know, occasionally happens to everyone. Same thing with Comicsgate. Not everyone in Comicsgate is perfect. There are definitely bad people there. It's just the majority are good people that just want good comics. That's what I've noticed, is there are some bad eggs. Just like any movement's going to have. When you have a large number of people, 100% of them aren't going to be good. But yeah, that's how it is with Comicsgate. At least that's how I see it. And this whole situation was just so weird. Again, why send a picture of your asshole to some guy, even if you think he's a Nazi? Like, what is that? Why? How's that gonna defeat him or do anything other than just humiliate you and make you seem like a complete crazy lunatic? But yeah, this guy's nuts, and I think this is definitely grounds for being fired. I generally don't like firing people for what they do online. I think it's stupid. But when you're sending people unwanted nudes, that's where I draw the line. That's where you should be kicked out of comics and should be gone forever. Goodbye. Do not send people unwanted nudes. Imagine if this was a Comicsgate pro to a female in the mainstream. Imagine if like Ethan Van Sciver or John Mayle or someone like that did this to, say, Heather Antos or something. Imagine how upset everyone would be. Oh my gosh, you would never hear the end of it. But this guy does it. This guy is a pro in the comics industry. He's currently on a Vertigo book. Sends it to another pro, Ethan Van Sciver, and nothing. Just crickets. It amazes me. But yeah, we got one more story, and that is Jeff Lemire. Jeff Lemire wrote a blog post doubling down on his whole anti-Comicsgate thing, and it's just super virtue signaling. It's so bad. It's really depressing, because I really liked Jeff Lemire. I still think he's a great writer. It's just, man, it sucks to see that this is how he is, because the whole time I thought he seems a bit more normal than everyone else. Like occasionally I'd see him like retweet something anti-Trump, but it wasn't like every single day. It was like oh, I hate this and that and Trump's evil and blah blah. Because here's my thing. Most people know this. I'm not a Trump guy. I am a conservative, but I'm not a fan of Trump. But I don't have a problem with people who are fans of Trump. So that's where people get confused. But I just get annoyed every single day from the same people. Like they're all just bots tweeting the same thing about Trump. It gets annoying. Again, I'm not a fan of the guy. It just gets annoying seeing the same thing recycled from everyone on my Twitter feed. It's always like, oh, Trump, more like Trump. It's like, it gets old fast. So when someone isn't constantly doing that, like Jeff Lemire wasn't, just occasionally he like retweet something or say something, it was like, oh, I don't care, that's fine. It wasn't like 24/7. And now he's doing this Comicsgate stuff, and he's like sounds super virtue signaling, and it's just So Jeff Lemire's blog post says, a couple of days ago I tweeted about Comicsgate. This seems to have made a lot of people angry. Well, that's too bad, but I fully stand by what I said. For too long, too many creators and members of the comic industry who are not straight white men have been harassed, abused, and attacked online when all they want to do is tell stories and make comics. This is not right. Okay, so first off, that's not the whole blog post, there's more, but I just want to intervene real quick. It's straight white men get a lot of criticism as well. Nick Spencer, Dan Slott, Mark Waid, these are all straight white men that everyone in Comicsgate just has been very critical of. But nope, it's only people that aren't straight white men. If you're a straight white man, we in Comicsgate have no problem with you. You get a pass. You can go and do whatever you want. No, that's not the case at all. There are plenty of straight white dudes that have been criticized by Comicsgate. I don't get this. He's definitely not paying attention. But anyways, moving on. If you don't like the stories these creators are telling, then don't buy them. That is your right. Well, it is not your right to attack them and try to silence their voices. I agree. Don't attack them and try to silence their voices. The problem is, like, pretty much no one's doing. 99% of people are not doing that. 99% of Comicsgate is not trying to attack or silence people. I don't get that. Anyways, I'd hope more creators who, like me, have had the privilege to create comics free of this sort of abuse and scrutiny, because we are white and we are men, would have joined me in denouncing Comicsgate. I know many of you feel the way I do. Notice that many popular and significant creators liked my tweet, and that's great, but it's not enough. We can't use our voices to stand up for the next generation of content creators, editors, and the next wave of voices that will keep our medium alive and vital. Then what's the point of having them? The thing that's funny about that is Tom King is the first person that comes to mind when he talks about people liking tweets. Tom King likes like the most snarky tweets all the time, but won't say anything on it. That's why I see all the time on my feed. It's Tom King like this. But anyways, moving on. The time is now to stand up for female comic book creators. The time is now to stand up for transsexual comic book creators. The time is now to stand up for creators of color and of all sexual orientations, races, and religions. If we don't do that, we don't deserve to keep making comics ourselves. So don't just like tweets. Say something. Let marginalized creators and voices know that we are with them. Comics are for everybody. Let the world know that. Hey, yeah, you out there, you don't have to write good comics. You just have to be a minority group, and that way Jeff Lemire will come and protect you because he is your white savior. You don't have to worry about anything else. Jeff Lemire is that straight white man that will use his privilege to protect you, and you don't have to write anything good or do anything of substantial use and have actual talent because Jeff Lemire feels sorry for you because everyone is attacking you. That's the way it kind of seems. It's Jeff Lemire trying to be like a white savior right here, and it's so cringy. It's so bad and just like virtue signaling, and just him just saying, hey guys, I know I have so much privilege because I'm a straight white male, but if you're part of a minority group, I will protect you. Don't worry. It's like, Jeff, man, you're such a great, talented writer. Don't ruin it like this. This is just so bad. But yeah, that's pretty much all we have to cover today. I want to know, what are you guys' thoughts on all this, on everyone just saying comics are for everyone, which I 100% agree with. The problem is I don't see anyone saying the opposite, so I don't get why everyone's talking about comics being for everyone. Like, do you guys see that often? Maybe I'm in the wrong groups and I just don't see anyone talking about it. I just don't see anyone saying how comics aren't for everyone. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the whole hashtag buttholegate, I guess? And also, what are your thoughts on the this whole Jeff Lemire thing with him doubling down, which is really disappointing because he is a fantastic writer. It's just seeing this, but it doesn't make me appreciate him any less as a writer. He's still a great writer. It's just stupid what he's doing here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Not all of these This Week in Comics videos, not all these Thwick videos are going to be Comicsgate related. It's just we had so much Comicsgate stuff happen over the weekend. That's why all I talked about. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.
Legends never die, we've been going every night. I've been feeling way too blessed, but with Lex I'm never stressed. They don't know just what we do, we've been out here with the crew. They don't know just how we live, think we got too much to give.